Okay, here's a look at Fans Toys FT48 Jive, which is their version of a Masterpiece Scale Jazz. So first, let's take a quick look at the box. So here's the front of the package with the really nice artwork and the vehicle. But if you see there, that number 4 is backwards. And that's probably because they took the image and inverted it, but didn't bother to fix it in this position. Okay, the back of the box, you get some nice product images and the bio, which you can always pause and read if you want. And then the side of the box, Jive FT48. The other side, same thing. And the top of the box, the artwork, and you can see this one, the number 4. This is the correct image that they used. And then here's the QR code if you want to scan that to open up the website page, but I don't think you need that. I think you could just go to Fans Toys YouTube channel, and that's just basically the same. Bottom of the box, the same thing also. So that is a quick look at the package. And now let's take a look at the figure. And this is first really a nicely sculpted figure, very cartoon accurate, both in robot and vehicle mode. So you can see that really nice head sculpt. So yeah, let's just compare this with the animation model so you can see looks really good. And another angle, the head, and then also the side view and the back. They did a really nice job on the head sculpt. And I do want to point out here that this head, this parting line here, it's not actually bad on mine because I have to work really hard to push down really hard and push in this face, because if you don't, then you're going to get it something like that, like Bobby Skullface was complaining about. And this is the theme throughout this figure, is that you're going to have little frustrations just getting things to go in the position they need to be and tabbing in. So here I'm showing you the head, the face. You see those black tabs? They do tab in to the side of the face right there. So that's throughout this figure. So again, you have to push down really hard, and then you have to push in the head to make sure it gets tabbed in very well, and then there you have a nice clean parting line. So that's a quick look at the head. And then moving down, you can see the nice chest with the blue transparent lights, the grill, then the metallic blue, which is typical of Fans Toys paint. And they even painted the center there like a metallic gunmetal gray. The knees, even the rectangle on the knees, cartoon accurate. The stripes, the feet, the faux rear flare for the tire. And you can see here, some people complain about this kibble being exposed, but it's not really a big deal in my opinion. Then the back, look at, they even put in the details, a little triangle on the back of the thighs. But these two parts, yeah, that is a little unsightly, but doesn't bother me because nobody really looks at the figure from the back. So that's just a quick look at the figure, and it's a really nice figure. So now let's go over the accessories, and first you get his handgun, which is cartoon accurate. and they painted it gray, so that's nice, instead of silver, so it's more cartoon accurate. And just remove it just to show you. It does tab in from the tab on the back of the handle, so that's the new way I guess they're doing it. And the hand articulation, it does, the 4 digits do open and close, and you do have the index finger that you can articulate, but it's in a curled position, so that's odd. And the thumb unfortunately does not articulate, so it's just a quick look at the hand. And now the other accessories, you get his shoulder cannon, which this is really nice, nicely sculpted, nice silver paint finish here. And what's cool is this is on a ratchet, so you can actually lock this in positions when you attach it. And then the other accessory you get is his hook thing, which is really cool. So here's the tip, with nicely painted silver with this string on this spool that you can roll up, but it's really frustrating trying to turn this. I think it would have been good if they gave you like a socket to put on top of here, like a plus, and then you could easily roll that up. But that's that. And then you do get these 2 speakers, which look really, really nice because of that metallic blue paint finish. And they are on this soft plastic, so they do lock in pretty well. And you can see it's on a ball joint, so you can articulate it, so that's really nice. And then we do get down here 2 alternative face plates, which is really cool. So you can see that nice smiling face, which I like, and then you got an open mouth, so that's actually nice. You have options, so that's that. And a couple of other things you get. You do get the nice bio card, which I always complain that they should have made it wider, like basketball or baseball cards, so that way here maybe you would have a little bit more room to be able to read all of this, which you can pause and read if you want. But you do get some nice image of the robot and the vehicle and the tech spec, so that's cool. And the last thing you get, obviously, is the instruction manual. And you know what I really like about this is that when you open it up, the very first page, you do have the content, so you do see what you get. So I think every company should do that, but they don't. In Hasbro, the G1, they used to do that, but they don't do it anymore, so it gets a little frustrating trying to find your accessories on the new products today. But here's a look at just how Fans Toys handled their transformation, where they colored the focus parts red and used yellow to show how to maneuver it. And then again, the QR code, which I'm telling you, you don't need. You could just go to the YouTube channel instead. So that's that. And now let's just compare this with the cartoon models so we can see. They did a really, really nice job getting all the details, so it's very cartoon accurate. And even the side view looks really, really nice. And also even the back. So they did a really great job. So that's that. Now back to the figure to go over the articulation. So let's kind of zoom in here so I can show you some of the issues here. So first the head, it's not on a ball joint, but it can go up and down on that pivot, and it does swivel. No confused dog look. The shoulders, they are on a nice ratchet, but I'm showing you right here, you are going to have to push here, kind of like pushing up to push it into that tab before you articulate this on this nice tight ratcheted shoulder. Because if you don't, and you just trying to lift up this arm, you're gonna start untabbing this piece. I mean, it's holding up pretty well right here, but you can see it's starting to come untabbed. But yeah, as I say that now, it's doing what it should do. So there you go. That just came untabbed. So that's why I was telling you, you got to push on the bottom. And then you're going to go through all this frustration trying to get these tabs to go back in. See, and that goes in that slot right there. You're going to have to push this up. And this is kind of what I'm showing you that you go through with this figure. I don't have a spudger, I have a screwdriver, so I'm just kind of using this to help kind of tab that in, back in. And so, as a consequence, you can see this came untabbed, so you're going to have to line this back up and tab it back in. So that's a common theme issue that's throughout this figure. But back to the articulation, the biceps do swivel, the elbows do go up and down and swivel. And the waist does swivel, and it is on a nice, you can get a nice ab crunch here. And then the hips, the legs, they can go out to the side, they can go up and down on a nice ratchet. And you can rotate them at the thigh. And the knees, they do bend on a very nice tight ratchet. And this I want to show you. I know people have trouble tabbing this in, but I'm just showing you how I handle that. I grab here, and then grab up here, and then I can just push this in and out very, very easily. So that's how I handle that. But I also want to point out that when I opened this up and compared it to the other side, it looked like this one was maybe a little bit too big, especially with the paint. So you can see I kind of scraped off some of that white paint off the die cast, which actually I think helped make this a little bit easier to put that in. But that's that. And then coming down to the feet, first I want to point out I did untab this locking bar, which you pull out and attach to the bottom heel. But when you do that, then you lose, I'm not going to attach it, but then you lose the articulation. So you don't need it. So when you don't have it attached, you can get an ankle rocker and a small toe tilt up and down. But when you don't attach it, I don't know if it shows up here, but you're going to get a tiny little stub on the bottom showing there. But it's not significant enough to affect the stance. So let me just show you there. Let's bring this down. So you can see the feet. doesn't really mess with anything with the feet. And you can see it holds up very firmly without it. So that's just the articulation. And let's just adjust this back up so we can see. This is a really nice looking figure in robot mode. So something else I want to show you, how to kind of manage these support bars right here. Trying to get it out, to pull it out forward at this angle is very difficult, but I want to show you. What I like to do is here first, let's get this head forward and just lift up this center piece, and that will untab this back piece. And if you take a closer look, you could see it's like on a hook which falls into these grooves here. And once you untab that, then you could just bring out these doors like so. Can't see what I'm doing here. And then it is on a sliding bar here. You could just drop it down, and now you have this big open cavity where you have access to that bar in there. So it's already been pushed forward, but let me just show you. So when you're transforming this, obviously you bring this down, and well, when you, let me just do it the whole way. Let's untab this, because then you untab this whole piece. So it's very easy to push this back in, but when you want to pull it out, this is going to be very difficult. But with this open space cavity, now you have room to get your finger in there to, let me zoom out, and pull it out, or you can push it out, either way. And if it's a little hard, you can always use a spudger. I'm using a screwdriver, and you could just push it forward, and there you go. So I'm just showing you how you can easily access that area. So now once you do that, what you have to do, you could see the two tabs and the two slots. You have to push it up and into this angle. So, and it is a little frustrating, just like the rest of this figure. And I want to point out, you see this parting line? They did make it so you can adjust this up and down, so I think that was kind of cool. So you can kind of use that to help get that to tab in. And then once you tab that in, then you've got to fix this front piece again. And as I was saying, this doesn't function very well as they want it to, because once you start trying to move this arm, it's gonna come undone. That's why I said you're gonna have to push here and then articulate this shoulder however you want. So that's that. And then just to put this all back, let's zoom out. What I like to do, show you, is first you see that little slot there, and then you can see this center, there's a tab. So get it at an angle. First get these hooks over and tab that in to that center piece. Once you do, all you do is push down and it will push it in, and now it's easily back in place. Then you could just fold in these doors. So just wanted to show you that, how you can get access to this bar here so that it's a little bit easier. So now let's zoom back out, and that's just some things I wanted to share that I noticed about the figure. So now let's transform him to vehicle mode and take a look at that.
Transform!
Okay, here's a look at him in his vehicle mode. So let's zoom in and take a close-up look. The side view, really nice. The 3/4 angle. The front view with those nice blue transparent lights. The transparent blue window. The chrome-plated metallic rims. And I want to point out, getting it here is extremely frustrating because all these areas where you have to tab them in, you're going to be fussing with it, tabbing it in, re-tabbing it in, back and forth. So this is really a difficult, frustrating transformation. But if you did transform it all correctly, here's your test to see if you did it correctly. These wheels, you see, they will roll all very nice and easy like that. So now let me just show you like all these areas, these parting lines here. You can see how they're all tabbed in very well, but they need to be tabbed in, re-tabbed in, because like here, you can see they have a tendency to come undone. So like right there, and then oh my gosh, trying to get these legs to stay together until you can get this top in the groove here. And this part unfortunately doesn't, because there's like tension here. So that unfortunately I cannot tab in very well. But I'm just showing you all the areas where you see all this parting line. You see how they're all nicely lined up together? That's because they're all tabbed in very accurately. Because if it's a little off, then these wheels will not work. So, but again, I think the main thing I want to point out is transforming it and getting things to tab in is extremely frustrating, because you're going to have to tab them in, re-tab them in, back and forth again, because as you put in one, something comes undone, then you're going to have to tab that in, then this comes untabbed. So just letting you know. So now let's actually just take a look at him with the animation model so we can see. Look at that, that looks so nice. I think they did a really great job. And actually, let's take a look from the back view also, and you can see, yep, they did a really nice job. So I have a couple of thoughts on this. I mean, this is really, really nice. I really like this. But the transformation design, it's not that bad. It's just very difficult and challenging because the tolerances of all the tabs and stuff don't work really well. And, you know, that's because the plastic, this harder plastic with this smooth finish, like I was saying, you know, it just causes things to always easily slide out. But if it's like Magic Square, softer plastic, then, you know, it's going to be more rough. So, you know, it causes more friction. So just take that how you will. That's just my explanation why, you know, these things just keep coming untabbed. But you have to find a way to work around it. So that's a look at him in vehicle mode, and this is really a great figure.
Transform! Catch!